All right. Well, hello and welcome everyone. This is Leanne Carmi, and I am glad that you could make it on live. And what you're looking at, actually, let me switch my screen. I see a few of you are calling in, and a few of you are on actually on the web. So if you're on the web, and if you're on the call, I'll describe this. But if you're on the web, what you're seeing is my blog, and I've been sending out, you've probably been receiving my meditation challenges, and if you have, that's awesome. I hope you've been trying it. This one is from yesterday. I'll have another one I'll be uploading today. And this call is for you today if you need a breakthrough, if you've ever been, or maybe now you're at the point where you just don't like where you're at. There's something missing for you. Maybe you know what it is, maybe you don't, but you just don't like the point where you're at right now. You want something different. Maybe you don't know where to go. Maybe you know where you want to go, but you feel like there are just too many obstacles in the way, too many things that are going to stop you. It just seems impossible. And I want to tell you a few stories today that I think are going to help you. Because what you need is a breakthrough. What you need is a way to reach your goals. And sorry, I'm just looking at my my audio here. It looks like it's really high. I'm going to turn down my gain. Okay, and hopefully that's better for you guys on the call. I don't want to come in too loud there. And so this call is for you if you really need a change. You really need a breakthrough. Okay, you need something different in your life, and that's what we're going to talk about. Is that I want you to be able to have that breakthrough that you need. And by the way, you might know me already. You might have been on a call with me before. You might know me for any time for 4 years now or longer, or this might be your first call with me. You might not know anything about me. So let me tell a little story about where I come from. My name is Leanne Carmi, and I have been doing work online, doing internet marketing online and making money online for the last 4.5 years. Before that, I was a teacher. I taught in high school. I taught English as a second language, and I loved it. I loved being a teacher, but there were some things that were missing for me. I didn't like all the politics. I didn't like being observed. And I don't know how many of you get observed at your jobs, but it's pretty nerve-wracking. I didn't like the violence at the schools where I taught. I didn't like the fact that kids came to school with guns and that they were gangs and that girls came to school pregnant, and it really bothered me. And I felt like there wasn't much I could do about it. I did what I could, but there wasn't a lot that I could do in my position. And so I started getting a little burnt out, and I knew that there was something different that I needed to do, and I needed to make a difference in the world, and that just wasn't doing it for me. And so I quit teaching and I started working online. It's actually a process of about a year where I got online and I just did whatever it took to get to a point where I could quit my job and say I had enough to cover the bills. And I did that. And I soon realized that I was just putting myself in the same situation over and over again. I was online and I was making money from home, but instead of having 5 bosses at work, the principal and all the vice principals and all the people from the state who came to observe me, now all of a sudden I had all these clients who I needed to report to, and I needed to show them that everything was good. And if it wasn't good, if I didn't do well, in teaching I might get reprimanded, but in online business, I might lose a client and lose an amount of money that I needed every month. So I kept on working very hard, and I got into network marketing. And I started working really hard trying to make sales and trying to build my business, and it just wasn't working for me. I managed to make a few sales. I learned a lot. I learned how to do marketing. I learned how to do SEO. I'd win competitions, but I didn't quite get to the point where I wanted to be, which was to just be free and I didn't know what the issue was. And so more recently, things kind of shifted for me, and I recently had a son. He's 9.5 months old now. We're gonna have his first birthday over in New York. I live over in California now, in the East Bay, near San Francisco. And so before I gave birth to my son, I got fed up, and I said, forget all this online stuff. I can't do it anymore. I'm gonna stop everything. I'm gonna put all my projects on permanent hold, and I'm just going to have my son. I'm going to enjoy my time with him, and then I'm going to go and go back to work. And that's what I was telling myself. I'm going to go back to work because I had this vision, and I just didn't see how it was going to happen. I didn't see how it was going to happen. I couldn't figure it out. And a few months after I had my son, a friend of mine contacted me, and he showed me a business opportunity. And I thought about it, and I thought about it, and I said, okay, I'll do this. And I started it off, and it was very strange because things started to work for me to where before I had such a hard time getting people interested, sharing the word, and all of a sudden I found it really easy to do. And I started thinking, and I said, what happened? What is this thing that happened, right? Because it's like a breakthrough, like, oh, holy cow, stuff works. Like, I'm good at this. Like, I thought of myself as someone who was just really bad at selling and really bad at network marketing, and I was just, it was just pointless for me. I was wasting my time, and all of a sudden, I'm having this success. And I said, what is going on? What is different about me? And I realized that over that last year, I had been doing some personal development, and I didn't even think about this, right? The personal development was a community that I was involved in, and I was taking courses and learning how to improve my health and how to improve my happiness and how to improve my wealth. And it was actually in that community that I decided all of a sudden to just stop everything that I was doing. And Carol, I see you're on the call today, and Carol is a friend of mine, and Carol just recently, I shared this exercise with him, it's called the Start, Stop, Continue, and I'll share it with you also. The Start, Stop, Continue is an exercise that you do when you are feeling overwhelmed, like there's just too much to do and you have no idea where to go. And I did this exercise, the Start, Stop, Continue, and I crossed off 90% of the things that I was doing. And that was back before I had my son. I crossed off everything. Every single thing I crossed off, and that's why I just gave up all the business that I was working on. It wasn't working for me. I didn't like it. And what I didn't realize was that two things. First of all, I was working on myself, right? I was working on myself, and I was having these small breakthroughs, small personal breakthroughs. And the second thing I didn't realize was that by putting all these things away, by saying, I'm done, I'm going to stop, I opened up new possibilities, and I didn't know what those possibilities were, but I let all of these things go, and the possibilities came. And what's interesting is that a few months after that, I was feeling like, okay, I need to get back to doing some work, because I was at home with my son, and I love my son, and I want to raise him, but I also am the type of person who likes to be around other people and likes to do things that are creative and work. And, let's face it, if I wanted to just be with little kids all day, I'd be a daycare worker or something. So I just, it's like a mismatch for me to be a total 100% stay-at-home mom. I wanted to do some work. And because I had let all these things go, it just so happened that the same friend who introduced me to this business called and said, hey, we're going to start this forum. We're going to set up this paid forum, and do you want to be a part of it? And I said, yeah. And because I was able to, because I had freed up my time, I became the lead in this project, okay, which meant, moving towards my goal, helping more people and teaching more people. And so here we are, and these are just small breakthroughs. And I just, as I was sitting there, I was thinking to myself, well, how did I get here? And the issue is twofold, right? I want to know, how did I have a breakthrough? But not just because I'm curious, right? Not just because I want to do it again, but because my whole goal is to help other people have these breakthroughs. So what did I go through to get there? That's my question. And what's interesting is around the same time, a bunch of my friends told me about another program online, and It's actually Empower Network, this one right here, Empower Network. And I just ignored them. I mean, I saw their opt-in pages, and I watched the videos, and I thought, wow, they're really good at sales, but it's another one of those things and whatever. And I kept thinking, this is kind of like what I did before. I wasn't any good at it. It just like pissed me off looking at it, to be honest with you, because I was thinking all these people are making money, and when I did stuff like that, I made none. And so I just let it go, and I think I had 5 different friends who said, listen, you need to be in this. And I was like, yeah, okay, enjoy it. Good luck to you. And then one day I just spoke with this guy, and something in me shifted, and I said, I just have to do this. And I got into it, and I went all in immediately. I just went all in. I just knew I had to. I said, and I guess that was kind of a personal breakthrough too, is just knowing that I needed to go all the way in and be 100% into it. And over the next 30 days or so, I began to have a huge series of breakthroughs, where I started off just doing what they told me. And I'll tell you a little bit more about this community, because I want you to have these breakthroughs too. And I want to show you some things that you can do to have breakthroughs. But let's back off for a minute, and let's talk about Donna, because Donna wants to start her own business. Donna is my wife, and she works in medical sales. She's not a salesperson though. She does support. She trains doctors, and Donna has been talking about starting her own business and training because she loves what she does, but again, she hates the politics of sales. One of her values in life is being moral, is being ethical, and sales is not so ethical. So where she's got colleagues who love doctors who will do surgeries and things like that when they're not necessary, she cannot stand it. And so there's a mismatch in values between her and her company. And so she has been talking about starting her own business, and she got started talking very seriously about it recently. And just the other day, she came to me and she said, I've had it. Like, I'm done with this. I'm so tired of my job. I'm so done with this whole thing. And if you knew something about her, she loves her work. She loves her work. She feels like she's got a purpose there and something to do. And she just got so fed up because of the politics and this mismatch in values. And she came to me and she said, let's start this business. Let's talk with some of the resources that I have. Let's talk with some of these people who can help us get started. Can you help me? And I said, of course, right? Of course I'm going to help my wife with her business. And then just yesterday she came to me and she said, I just can't take it anymore. And we started talking, and I just had this idea in my head of, what might be going on. And I realized it, and I said, what do you really want to do? And she started saying, well, I can't do that because it's, there's no money in it. Or I can't do that because I'd have to go back to school. And this is like an actual conversation that we had. And I said, no, forget about how to get there. Forget about how. Just say what. And it's really hard to do. I mean, I want you to go through that process and see what it feels like when you say, what do you really want to do? When you think to yourself, what do you really want to do? And try to get there. Try to paint a picture for yourself of what you really want in life. Whether it's work, or whether it's a trip, or whether it's a material thing, or whatever it is you want, whether it's to meet someone for the first time, or whatever you want in life. I want you to think about it for a moment. Think about it. And try to just paint a picture of it without thinking about how. It's very difficult. It's very difficult to do, because we immediately jump to that. We immediately say, well, how would I do that? Oh, I can't, right? Instead of just saying, here is what I want. And this is what stops us a lot of times from getting what we want, because we build up all these barriers when there's no barriers there. Because when I talked to my wife, I said, well, just tell me what you want. And then I said, well, what about this business you were so excited about? Do you not want to do it? And she said, yeah, but I don't know how. And so there's this thing called the gap, right? And there's a huge gap between where you are and where you want to be. And the bigger it is, the more uncomfortable that gap is. The more uncomfortable it is. So let's say you want to meet someone. You want to go on a date, and you haven't dated in 5 years, okay? And you say, well, what kind of person do I want? And you start saying, well, you start thinking what I'd like, a tall girl, and then you say, well, but I'm really short, so that's not going to happen. And I kind of want a blonde, but blondes don't like me, so that's not going to happen. And I kind of want someone who's really down to earth, but those people don't exist, so that's not going to happen. And you see what I'm saying is that you talk yourself out of your big vision, and you talk yourself out of your goals because that gap is so uncomfortable and because you don't know. And so I'm going to challenge you today because I want you to have a breakthrough. I'm going to challenge you. And this is going to be a really short call because I want you to be able to get off the call and do this. But I'm going to challenge you to think of what you really want in every aspect of your life. In your relationships, in your wealth, in your happiness, in yourself inside, in your nature, in your material things, in every part of your life. In your body, your physical being, in every single part of your life. I want you to think about exactly what you want and write it down. And think about what you want without thinking of how. Don't worry about how. It doesn't matter. Just write down exactly what you want. It might seem crazy. It might seem impossible. Write it down anyway. And then let me show you this. I'm gonna pull up a drawing. And let me just make sure that you can see it. And let's see if I can. Oh, that's funny. It disappears on me when. So how do I show that to you? Sorry, just trying to. Oh, funny. Okay, so I guess I would have had to set that up first. So just imagine this. Okay, imagine this. Once you write down where you want to be, then write down where you are right now. Okay, so seriously, write down where you want to be, anything that you can think of, and then write down where you are right now. Where are you right now? And you're going to see that gap, and it's going to feel really uncomfortable. If you have a big goal, it's going to feel really uncomfortable. And here's what I'm going to tell you. Live in that gap. Live in that gap and accept it. Don't try to explain how. Just live in that gap and know where you want to go, because when you're clear about where you want to go, the universe will find ways to get you there. Not to say that then you can just leave it alone and not do anything. No, accept what you see and receive the creativity that comes to your head about what to do, and look for opportunities. But once you have that vision, those opportunities are going to come your way. So I want to tell you a little bit more about having breakthroughs, because once you have this vision and once you know that there's this huge gap that you're living in that's so uncomfortable, then I'm going to tell you that it just takes one action per day to get your next breakthrough. One action per day to get to where you want to go. And I want to tell you about my friend Layla, Layla Black. She was in network marketing, and she was with a company. I don't remember the name of it, but it was for weight loss. Okay, it was, you might have seen people on Facebook, sharing their weight loss stories, and basically she was selling shakes and things like that, and she had a big vision, which was to help other women. And she knew in her heart that by helping women lose weight, she would help them gain, what is the word I'm looking for? She would help them feel confident. She would help them get what they wanted in life. And so she focused on this, and she did this, and she did fantastically well in that network marketing business. And all of a sudden, she realized that that wasn't it. That wasn't the answer. Because she was working on it every single day, she had a breakthrough all of a sudden, and she said, oh my gosh, that is not it. That is not it. And at this point, let me tell you about Layla. She's a six-figure earner online, and she had a breakthrough. And that breakthrough allowed her to increase her income even more. Okay, because she realized she was focused on the wrong things and having people focus on the wrong things, and she shifted that, and it changed everything for her. Now, for me, if you're on the web and you're looking at my blog here, I'm blogging every single day, and I'm doing other things every single day. I'm listening to an empowering audio every day, which you can see on the top left of my screen here. I've got 2 audios, one that I've been listening to today. It's actually called Your Personal Breakthrough, which is kind of interesting how that worked with our call today. And I'm reading every day. I'm reading. And here's what I realized as I was blogging, because I started blogging and I said, okay, what the heck am I going to blog about? What the heck am I going to blog about? I guess I'll blog about what I'm reading, and I guess I'll blog about these audios, and I guess I'll just blog about random things. And then I started saying, okay, well, what if I added some SEO aspects to my blog? What if I used terms that people are searching for? And so I started getting more views to my blog. And then I said, well, one day, this was about, I don't know, on day 35, all of a sudden I didn't want to blog anymore. I got to this point where I had my vision, I knew where I was at, I was living in the gap, and I was doing something every single day. And I got to a point where I said, I don't want to do this anymore. I don't want to do this anymore. But I knew that I had to do it. I knew that it was necessary in order to get to where I was going. And so I kept blogging. And here's what happened. Here's what happened. I had no choice but to be myself. I had no choice but to be myself. And what did I start talking about? I started talking about meditation, because that's something that I do. And I started talking about yoga and breathing and different techniques. And I started sharing that with people. And the first time that I shared it, I sent out an email to everyone. You might have received it. You might have received my meditation challenge if you've been on my list just for a few days now. And my first instinct when I sent that, I said, oh, crap, I shouldn't have sent that. I shouldn't have sent that, because people joined my list because they're looking to make extra money from home. That's why most people join my list. Or they're affiliate marketers and they've been online. And I said, oh my gosh, what did I just do? And I said, I'm going to get unsubscribed. People are going to be angry with me. And you know what I said? All of a sudden I realized, I said, you know what? Maybe these people will unsubscribe. Maybe they will. And you know what? I'm not going to connect with those people anyway. I can't help the people who unsubscribe anyway. Just like I can't help the people who dropped off the call midway. I can't help them. I'm not for them, right? But here's what I have to give. And then I started getting emails from you guys. You guys started sending me emails telling me you're taking the challenge, that you're enjoying it, that you got some benefit out of it. And I thought, oh my gosh, you know, and there's another breakthrough. And all of a sudden it's like, yeah, I'm making sales, but I don't have to be someone else. I'm making sales doing something that I love. And how many of you would like to do that, would like to make sales, to make money online, doing what you love? Right? Because talking about what you love is exciting. Helping people with something that you know very, very well is exciting. And it's fun. And you want to do it again and again. And I wish I had time to blog 5 times a day. Where before, just a few days before that, I was at that point where I said that the gap is too big. That the gap felt too big. And I was ready to quit. And I said, no, I'm just going to power through it. And I had a breakthrough. I had a breakthrough. Now, here's what I want to say for those of you who are still listening in. Okay, and remember this. Remember this. Ask yourself, what do you really want? Ignore the how. Ignore the how. Ignore all the thoughts that come into your head that tell you can't do it. What do you really want? Then write down, where are you now? And what's missing, right? What's missing? How are you going to fill in that gap? That's, you allow the universe to tell you that, how to fill in that gap. Okay? And I'm going to tell you something. There's not anything that you can't do. Okay? In other words, anything that's in your vision can be done. Can be done. And fact is that other people have done it or done something similar before. Whether it's money, whether it's relationships, whether it's anything. It's been done. It's possible, and it's possible for you. Right? And we'll talk another time about beliefs and these occurrings that you have, these meanings that you give events that don't really exist, right? The events exist, but the meanings aren't there. You create those meanings. And you have these beliefs that you've had ever since you were 4 or 5 years old or 6 years old. And believe it or not, you created those beliefs. You created those beliefs from things that your parents said or parents did. And now you're living your life locked in a prison of those beliefs. But those beliefs aren't there. They're not real. You understand what I'm saying? Those beliefs are things that you made up, and now you're living as if you are trapped in that prison of the beliefs that you created. So we're going to have another call about how to let those go. But for now, I just want you to know that daily action is going to lead you to a breakthrough. And so what you want to do is you want to do something every day that's going to move you forward. Now, what do? I blog every single day. And I do it on the Empower Network because it gives me access to other people and to other things. And I'll just show you here if you're online. And by the way, here's how easy it is to blog. Here's all my blog posts so far. There's one every single day, sometimes two. And look how easy they make this in Empower Network. And listen, I've been online for a while. I know WordPress, but look how easy this is. You click new post, you put it in there, and you're done. All right? And they've got easy mode. And I use easy mode sometimes just because, you know, I just want to use easy mode. I want it to be easy. I just want to do what I want to do and not worry about anything else. So, and I think we might have gotten disconnected. I hope not. I'm going to keep talking, and hopefully we're still live. But here's the thing. So, yeah, it looks like we might have gotten disconnected here. So if you can still hear me, I'll just keep talking, and if not, I'll record something for you later. Here's what I can do for you, okay? Because those of you who are still on the call, there is something that I can do for you, and there's some things that I can't. And in order for me to give you the best possibilities of reaching your breakthroughs, what I can do is I can put you around people. I can put you around other people who are reaching their visions and who are having these huge, humongous breakthroughs in their lives. That's what I can do for you. And so what I want to do is I'm going to log in to Empower Network real quick, and I want to show this to you. Okay, and let me pause this audio that pops up here. Okay, and there's Fast Start videos. This is the blogging platform. You actually get some training videos. Number 4, right here, changed my life. Okay. It gave me a breakthrough that changed my business completely. Okay, number 8 also. Okay, a lot of these, just these 8 videos made a change for me. And I want to show you something, because I want to put you around other people in the inner circle right here. This is where you get these audios that are on my desktop. And this is what I want you to do is, if you are ready to have some breakthroughs, then I want you to go in here, right on my on my link that I sent you. There's a way for you to get in here. If you don't have it, shoot me an email and I will get it to you, okay? But I want you to get in here. I want you to get the blog platform, and I want you to get the Inner Circle audios, and I want you to listen to the one that I listened to today, Your Personal Breakthrough. And I want you to listen to some of the other ones that, and just email me and say, which ones should I start with, and I'll tell you, okay? Because what I can't do for you, the people in here who are making 6 figures, who are doing what they love in life, and it's not about the money, it's about doing what you were meant to do and enjoying your life. And if that's what you want, if you're tired of where you are and you're tired of not having the money to do what you want to do, and if you're tired of feeling stuck and not knowing how to have breakthroughs, then this is what I can do for you, is I can refer you to the place that's doing it for me. So get in here. Okay, right on my wall you can see, let me bring this here, right on my meeting wall, and I can hear my son just stumbled out there and he's crying, so we'll end this soon. Right here, click to join. This is where you want to go. If you're already in, click to log in and upgrade, and shoot me an email and ask me where to get started, and I will get you started, because aren't you tired of not having your own personal breakthroughs? Aren't you tired of feeling like you're stuck, like you're in a prison? Okay, and it's time to change that. It's time to change that, and this is what I can do for you. So I hope you enjoyed our call today. I will get in touch with you again for next week's call, and make sure that you are on Monday's call, and I will send you the details for that on Monday. All right, bye everyone.